Well, then, it's finally here, the last game of the regular season for Reading. We host Barnsley at home in what looks to be a great Saturday at the Select Car Leasing Stadium with a bumper crowd, probably the highest crowd we've seen in a long, long time. Sun's going to be shining, and we have the possibility still of making the playoffs. Obviously, not quite in our hands, but we need to beat Leyton Orient's result to secure that sixth spot. And maybe this squad, we might see them again post Saturday. But before we look at Saturday, Jim, let's take a look back at Bristol Rovers. 2-0 win for the Royals on the road. Goals from Lewis Wing and Chem Campbell late on. It was a bit of a game of two halves, I thought, but I'll let you go first with what you made of the 2-0 win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great win, obviously, considering where we are in the season and what we're aiming for. But yeah, you're right. I think it was just another classic. You got to grind these games out at this level. Obviously, Bristol Rovers were trying to avoid relegation, which they haven't done. They're now relegated, I believe, following a result earlier this week. But yeah, needed somebody just to sort of grab the game and finish it off, really. And Wing did that with a great goal. I feel like that's the second time I've seen him score a goal like that, you know, where he dummies it and then it gets laid back off to him in the box and he just slots it straight in. So yeah, it was a really nice bit of team play and a really good finish. And then again, later on in the game from Campbell as well to seal all 3 points. And yeah, keep that playoff hope alive. So yeah, great 2-0 win, clean sheet as well. Obviously, I don't know what that is for Pereira and the defence. Maybe I don't know if he mentioned it when you were chatting to him the other day, but I think it's got to be over. It's over 10 now, clean sheets. I believe.
I think it's 10 or 11.
I mean, that's great, really, isn't it? To just carry that into potentially be carrying that into the playoffs. Is fantastic. I know we've been shouting about how great he's been individually and how great the back line has been. So yeah, another clean sheet is great. And it's just nice to see the team sort of playing well in this final step. And yeah, goals sort of coming from the wings as well, which I know is something that we've mentioned recently. So yeah, really positive result. That hopefully we can continue and bring into the game against Barnsley tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually 13. Joel Pereira's made 13 clean sheets.
Yeah.
39 games. So that's about 33% of the time, which I'd argue is very, very strong. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Joel Pereira, and he's probably going to be my player of the season. I mean, yeah, he will be my player of the season, I think. But we'll obviously do an episode on that. But yeah, I think this game just showed how good he is in that first half. I mean, even in the second half, he made some good saves too. But in that first half, like, he kept us in it. We could have been 2-3 goals down at halftime. I think made like some blinding saves that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say other Reading keepers wouldn't have saved, because maybe they would have. But like, it is just so refreshing to see a keeper just so dominant. And again, I know it seems I'm pointing the finger at David Button, and like I low-key am, to be honest. But it just feels like it's been a little while since we've had a commanding keeper that we can really trust. And now that we've got that in Pereira, we're benefiting from what that brings to the team, and that's not conceding loads of goals and keeping us in that game, which then allowed us in the second half to push on and, as you say, grab the game and win. I'm going to bring it back to the wing goal, because this is almost our catchphrase now on this podcast. When Reading play fast, fluid football on the floor, we are incredible, and we see that again there with the interlink between Savage and Wing, and it's just a great goal. Like, it's a really good goal, and actually,
it's fantastic.
I always mix this up when I say it, how to say the stat, but I did tweet it, so if you want to read it, I wrote it better on Twitter. But there's no better assist to goal scorer combination now than Charlie Savage to Lewis Wing in League One, which is great on its own, but also when you consider that they are two centre midfielders.
Exactly. Yeah. You usually sort of associate that with like a winger and a striker, or two strikers. So yeah, to have that stat for our deeper lying midfielders as well is great, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Another player I wanted to briefly shout out again because he's always class. We may be seeing him for the last time in a Reading shirt on Saturday is Tyler Binden. 11 aerial wins against Bristol, which is huge. It's the most of any player in the game. It's at least 6 more than any other Reading player in the game. I mean, we're kind of running out of superlatives when it comes to Tyler Binden, really. Like, he is just so good. He's probably one of the best players we've had, particularly in League One. I'm not saying of all time because he's only been here for a relatively short period, but I genuinely think he's going to the very top. I can see him playing in the Premier League and even progressing from Forest. I just think he's got everything, and obviously he's super young, so there's still loads of room for improvement. And yeah, I'm probably boring everyone by how much I'm just talking about how good he is because he's the real deal, I think. And
yeah, he really is. Yeah, he's great
for us.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Had an immense season. I mean, I obviously am extremely biased, but I think he should have won Young Player of the Season.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's all like he's got his move to the Prem in January. Obviously, Forest are in the top 4 and looked like they were going to be hanging around there for quite some time. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a great player. Deserved his move to the Prem. I agree. I can see him playing in the Prem. I'm not sure if they'd loan him back out or they'd keep him. But I think he would. You could easily put him into like a lower, like loan him out to a lower table Prem team, and he'd be just fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Imagine we get promoted to the Championship, and they're more than happy sending him back down to Reading. That would be that'd be a dream come true, wouldn't it? But no, I think he deserves to play at a high level. He can play at a high level, and I'm sure he will play at a high level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm all for that. If Nottingham Forest do want to loan him back to us, I'll definitely take him for however long they want to loan him to us. I'll pick him up in Nottingham and I'll drop him off at Reading. I can do whatever to make that happen. Right then, let's look to Saturday. Obviously, It's a huge game for Reading, as I've already mentioned. Bumper crowd, sun's going to be out. We've got the Amazons playing before. We've got Steve Coppell and Brian McDermott in attendance. We've got Club 1871 going to be bouncing throughout. Like it's going to be a real spectacle, regardless of what happens on the pitch. I mean, I say that. I hope Reading don't go on and lose, but I mean, what I mean is, if Leyton Orient go and win and we miss out, so be it. It's been a great season, and it will be a great day on Saturday. So, firstly, before we chat about it, get a ticket if you haven't already. There's not that many left, so I really wouldn't hesitate. But Reading welcome Barnsley, Jim, a team that are not in the best run of form, shall we say. They've picked up 6 points from their last 30 available, which is pretty bleak. But does that mean they want to end the season on a high and come to the Select Car Leasing Stadium and get a result, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any team would want to, finish the season losing. But I just think, it's such a big day for Reading, and I mean, such a nothing day really for Barnsley. Besides, like causing an upset. And I just think, with the SCL all but sold out, the team playing the way that they are at the moment, the task that's at hand, the fact that, and I know we've been talking about this all this week, but yes, it would be fantastic if we get to the playoffs, and I think we'd fully deserve to get to the playoffs. And I know I've been saying all season that I think we're good enough to get to the playoffs. But at the same time, like if we miss out and we finish where we are right now, like it's still been a fantastic season that I think most people would say we well overachieved. And obviously, if we get the takeover done as well in the next few days or whatever, then that's really the main thing. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say the pressure's off, because I know that, there will be a lot of people disappointed, including the team, if they don't make the playoffs. But it's just been great. And I think the fact that, we have something to look forward to on the final day is just like the cherry on top, really. So yeah, massively looking forward to it. It's such a big game. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't even want to give out a little score prediction just in case I jinx it. So I'm not even going to mention anything. We can talk about the previous results between Reading and Barnsley, but yeah, win, draw or loss, I'm not saying a word.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to pick up on what you were saying about how Reading have still massively overachieved this season, regardless of what happens from here. Like, if we finish 7th and don't get another point, we've gained 23 more points than we did last season.
Yeah.
Which I know, obviously, that the seasons are different, and we've been going through loads of stuff that is not even worth bringing up again. But that improvement is huge. And, like, the squad hasn't changed that much.
No.
Like, if anything, we've lost players. So I think just to see that uptick, like 23, what did I say? 23 or 22 points. That's huge. Yeah. That's like 7 wins. It's more than 7 wins. That, like,
exactly.
I feel like this team, whenever we ask questions of them, they just seem to deliver. And that is sort of why I'm feeling a bit positive about Saturday, because I know that it's not necessarily in our hands. But I know the question that's going to be asked is, can you go and beat Barnsley at home in front of a huge crowd? And I feel like the answer is yes. Like, this team has proven, like, time and time again this season, that they can stand up when the questions are being asked, and they can put in big performances. And I just think we'll see that. I think we've spoken all season about how much passion and togetherness and team spirit there is in this Reading side, and we're going to see that from the first whistle to the last whistle on Saturday. And
I do hope so. Yeah, I do hope so. I mean, I think the fact that we're it's on goal difference as well. Like, if I'm going out on that pitch, it's just my strategy is just full steam ahead.
Yeah.
From the get-go, and just see what happens. Like, you've seen some crazy stuff before in League One and League Two. In fact, was it Bristol Rovers last season or maybe 2 seasons ago, when they had to win
they lost
7-0 or something,
7-0.
And they won 7-0. Like, crazy shit does happen. So yeah, I agree with you. I think I hope it's going to just be like an extremely exciting match to watch, especially for everyone packing out the stadium as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not in our hands, really. Like, it will be gutting if we win, but Leyton Orient also win. But at the same time, you can't knock Orient. Like, they've also done fantastic. I think they've overachieved massively as well. I don't even know. I feel like in some of the first episodes this season, when we were going through where teams might finish, I definitely had Leyton Orient down towards the bottom. But yeah, watching them. Well, I watched them at the SCL this season, and you watched them over in East London for the away game, and we lost both. And I thought that at the SCL there, you could see what their game plan was. It was just simple and so effective. So yeah, for them to get it, for us to get it, I think they're 2 teams that have played fantastic this season, overachieved, have had players that have been robbed of awards. Kelman, that he should have been in the team of the season for sure. But yeah, really, really, really looking forward to it. Should be a fantastic way to end the season. Hopefully some more positive news as well with the takeover to follow it, or beforehand, who knows. So yeah, it's a win-win either way for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just nice to have something to play for on the last day, I think, and it not be relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
Because just to be in with a shout again just proves how well the season's gone. And to be honest, as you sort of alluded to there, it feels so harsh that one of these teams is going to miss out on the playoffs on goal difference. Well,
yeah,
I mean, maybe, but could miss out on goal difference, because realistically, it's a stupid argument, but I'd argue both teams based on what we've seen, and as you said, the overperformance and all that kind of all those kind of things. So
yeah, I think what's killing me is, and it will be the same for every fan of both clubs, at some point throughout the 90 minutes, we're probably going to be in the playoffs, and then we're going to drop back out and then back in, and then it's just going to be, it's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting. I mean, like, I just hope more than anything. Well, I mean, more than anything, I hope we win and Leyton Orient lose. But I hope they don't go ahead 1-0 straight away, and I hope Reading get an early goal, and then like what you're saying plays out. I would, although I don't know. I suppose if Leyton Orient go 1-0 up and Huddersfield score late on and nick a draw and we win, there's so many different scenarios where it could be good. There's quite a few where it could be bad. But look, like as I say, it's just good to have something to play for, positive to play for on the last day, and all we can do at this point, really, as fans, but specifically, is just back the boys and like be very proud of the performances they've put in this season. And as we've said, like they've overachieved. And if they can go one step further, it's bloody good news for us. One, because we'll get to go to a playoff semi-final, but two, we'll get to see the squad play twice more, at least. Because obviously tomorrow's game could be the last we see of almost every Reading player currently playing for Reading FC with the contract situations, with a lot of the squad.
Exactly. Well, I mean, from what we're all currently aware of, this could be the last Reading game.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Nothing gets sorted out. But yeah, just jumping back to your point about sort of overachieving this season, and I know Joel mentioned it when you were chatting to him yesterday as well. Just the fact, like, I think we've got the second youngest squad in the whole league. Definitely, when you sort of compare the average age of our squad to the rest of the squads in the playoffs and who have been automatically promoted already, we're years younger. So to be overachieving and to be playing at that level sort of consistently throughout the season is fantastic. Obviously, you know, without a penny spent as well. Well, on a transfer fee, without a penny spent.
Yeah.
And then with our sort of hands tied behind our back for the whole season as well, with everything off pitch. I just think it's it will never get spoken about in terms of like, what's the word? Like, what's the most impressive thing that's like happened in the EFL?
Yeah.
Obviously Birmingham, you know, breaking the EFL points record, which we're not going to speak about. You know, Wrexham getting promoted and all of that stuff. But like, if you actually deep it, I think what Reading have done is by far, and I know there'll be a lot of people out there that know ball a lot better than some people on the Disney Channel, that will agree that the story at Reading over the last couple of seasons, if they were to get into the playoffs and like say they even won the playoffs, that would be massive. That would be absolutely huge. But even still, to get where they are at the moment is just it's fantastic. I think it's been a great season, and I think it is as long as it all goes to plan with the takeover, I think it will set up next season really well.
Yeah, I agree. And again, it's just like, if the takeover is happening as we're sort of being told it is, and it's progressing, is what I'm trying to say. There's so many reasons to be positive, even if we don't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Like, this season has been a huge positive, and as you just said, like, what we've achieved with all the adversity we've faced is genuinely incredible. Like, I think it is the story of the EFL. Like, I'm not bothered about your Birmingham's and Wrexham's. Okay, maybe I'm more bothered about Wrexham. Like, back to back is pretty cool, but they've obviously had a lot of financial help. I just think small little club, Reading, with both their hands tied behind their backs, as you mentioned, finishing where they finish now, like 7th and above, is top class. And I think that puts us in good stead next season, because obviously we're going to need to buy is probably not the right word, but acquire new players once we inevitably lose some of the guys running out of contract. And I think Reading will be a very appealing place to come under new ownership next season.
Yeah,
based on the results we've had this season and the togetherness and the team spirit, and even Noel Hunt as a manager. Like, I think there's so many reasons to come and join Reading next season, whether we go up or not. Because I mean, obviously, I think it's a great club, but I think the country is starting to see that now as well. With us like achieving all of this, going through what we're going through.
For sure.
Anything more to add, or now is it just time to pray to the high heavens that Reading get a result and maybe Leyton Orient slip up on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's that time. I think it's on everyone's mind. There's only so much chatting that you can do about it, really. It's just time to lock in and enjoy the match. But no, I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be great. Really,
yeah, it really is. It's all I've been able to think about this week. Which, I mean, there's quite a lot of weeks where I try not to think about Reading games at the weekend over the last few years, but this week it's been on my mind. Well, hopefully when I chat to you next, Jim, Reading will be looking forward to 2 semi-final fixtures in the playoffs. But as we said, no problem. If not, we'll be back next season. We'll obviously have some content going out for you guys, regardless of the result, and through the summer transfer window. There won't be too much of a down period for us. But if this is the last chance to speak to you with a game to look forward to, thanks very much for all of your support this season. As I say, we'll be back throughout the summer and back stronger ahead of next season. So thanks once again for watching. Yeah. Let's hope the Royals can do it. Big Saturday at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. Come on, you are.